Sir Anthony?
Yes, sir.
Magandang araw po sa ating lahat. Welcome po sa ating Wellness Check Series Season 2, Episode 2. Ayan, holiday po ngayon, no? Pero hindi po tayo papaawat sa ating Wellness Check Series. So mga kapatid po nating Muslim, Eid al-Adha al-Mubarak po. Dahil ngayon po sineselebrate nila ang Feast of the Sacrifice. Ayan, live na live po tayo ngayon sa Ep2 Philippines Facebook page. Ito pa rin po ay hatid sa inyo ng Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Service, Bureau of Human Resources and Organizational Development Employee Welfare Division at ng National Educators Academy of the Philippines. Katuwang po ang Public Affairs Service at Bureau of Learner Support Service School Health Division. Ito pa rin po ay parte ng Brigada Eskwela at Oplan Balik Eskwela 2020. At kasama pa rin niyo po ako, si Joan Yamado, ang inyong kasama sa Wellness Check na Check. Okay, so ayan, kung nais niyo pong malaman ang mga episode, ang lineup po ng episode natin for Wellness Check Season 2, pwede niyo pong scan ang QR code na makikita niyo po sa inyong screen or pumunta po kayo sa link na makikita niyo sa inyong screen. Okay po ba yun? Wellness Check na po ba tayo? Ayan, okay. Ito po isang paalala lang, ang episode po ng ating Wellness Check Series Season 2 ay nakasentro po sa training on wellness. So dito po, babalikan natin ang mga episodes ng Stronger from Home at Wellness Check Series Season 1 at ating pag-uusapan ang mga katanungang hindi nasagot o mga usapin na talagang bumabagabag sa atin. Ano po? Pero bago natin himayin ang featured episode natin for today, atin po munang balikan ang naging discussion natin last week. Okay, so ayan, ganda po nung discussion natin last week, no, with our friend psychologist, Professor Yan Gatchalian, and of course, your millennial psychologist, Rian Portugues, no? So ayan, marami silang tinuro on habits. So nandiyan na yung mga self-care habits. Kasi di ba po, mga dear teachers, no, ito nga yung lagi nating sinasabi na you cannot give what you don't have. So you really have to take care of yourselves, no? Para naman maalagaan nyo ang ating mga learners and of course, ang mga taong nakapaligid sa atin. Okay, so ano nga ba ito? Una daw po, always smile. So ayan mga moms and sirs, please, i-exercise po natin ngayon ang ating mga bibig, no? Ayan, smile po tayo, okay? And of course, yung proper breathing. Kung natandaan nyo po yung ating last episode, no? For season 1, tinuruan tayo ni Sir June Hebrew nung breathing exercises. Kailangan po nating huminga. Ayan. And of course, know your limitation, avoid toxic positivity, and balance use of your time. So ito nga po, yung time management. Kasi ang dami po talagang nangyayari ngayon, no? Meetings here and there, ang daming tasks. So we really have to balance our time. And ito naman po, when dealing with emotions, we have to listen and have empathy, avoid giving unsolicited advice, ayan, and never invalidate others' emotions. So, ayan, let's be a sounding board sa ating mga kaibigan na nag-release ng kanilang mga saloobin or nagkikwento ng mga nangyayari sa kanilang buhay. And ito naman po, for our students' mental health, no, we have to create a lighter mood, make learning fun, and be a safe space for them, and of course, give a light workload. Kasi di ba po, coming August 24, mag-iiba po talaga yung magiging learning ng ating mga estudyante. No? So, really have to make sure po na okay sila, check na check sila. Okay? And ito lastly, how are we going to motivate our learners? So, nagbigay po sila Ma'am Yeng and si Ms. Rian, no, ng tatlong paraan para po ma-motivate ang ating learners. Una po, be ready to assist our learners. Especially po no na syempre magkakaroon tayo ng blended learning. So pwedeng ang learning ay online, pwedeng modular, no. So we really have to be of help sa ating mga learners. And of course, second, explain the essence of lessons and homework. So pakita po natin sa kanila yung kahalagahan ng ating mga tinuturong lessons. And of course, third, we have to work with their parents, no, collaboration with parents and guardian. Kasi po, yung learning naman, hindi naman po talaga ito nangyayari lang sa loob ng classroom. It can happen anywhere. And ngayon nga po, no, meron tayong ibang or new normal, kailangan maging kaisa natin ang ating mga parents and guardians sa pagtuturo ng ating mga learners. Ayan. Maraming salamat po sa mga nanood last week. And of course, ito pong ating napakagandang recap material ay gawa ni Miss Alec Del Rosario. So maraming salamat Miss Alex sa napakagandang recap material natin ngayong umaga. Okay, so ayan mga moms and sirs, ayan po, wellness check reminders po ulit tayo. Kung meron po kayong mga katanungan, please feel free to share them po through the comment section following po the format that you can see in our screen, no? Para po ma-acknowledge naman po namin kayo. Okay, so please type in your name, the name of your region, division, or school, and then your question. Ito naman po, tulungan niyo po kaming ma-improve pa ang ating wellness check series, no, by answering our evaluation form. So ayan, alam niyo na po ang link nito, no? Pasensya na po na nagkaroon tayo ng technical difficulty last week on our evaluation, pero rest assured po na naayos at aayusin na po namin ito. Thank you po sa mga nagpadala sa amin ng mensahe last week regarding this. And of course po, no, ayan, Sa mga nagtatanong po ng certificate of completion po para sa training on wellness, magbibigay po tayo ng memorandum on this po. Okay, so abangan niyo po yan mga moms and sirs. And of course, ito po, we encourage you, dear moms and sirs, no, dear teachers, no, to share this with your colleagues, no? Kasi meron po tayong DepEd Task Force Memorandum number 72, no? Para po sa ating training on wellness. So i-share po natin ito sa ating mga colleagues, no? Sabihan po natin sila to always tune in sa DepEd Philippines Facebook page every Friday at 9 a.m. Okay. Sige, ayan. Excited na po ba kayo sa ating episode ngayong umaga? Kami po ay excited na. Okay. So ayan, sa araw po na ito, pag-uusapan natin ang tungkol sa physical wellness, no? Sino po sa inyo ang nanonood ng Stronger from Home? Ayan, ako actually, binarathon ko tong Stronger from Home. And very interesting, no? May mga nakita talaga akong mga teachers din na nag-share ng kanilang Stronger from Home parang experience, no? Parang nagkaroon sila ng mga magagandang katawan dahil nanood sila ng episodes ng Stronger from Home, yung sa physical wellness. Okay. So yan, so ngayon pong araw na to, malalaman natin kung ano po yung kahalagahan ng may magandang physical well-being and paano po ito nakakaapekto sa ating mental health. Okay? So malalaman din po natin ang kahalagahan ng, of course, good nutrition and ang kaugnayan po nito sa pagkakaroon ng malusog na katawan at malusog na isipan. Okay? Makakakuha din po tayo ng tips kung paano ba natin ito i-introduce sa ating mga estudyante para para naman makatulong ito sa kanilang pagkakaroon ng positive habit at lalo na po na meron tayong kinakaharap na pandemya ngayon. Okay? Para po samahan tayong himayin ang ating episode 2 on physical wellness. Kasama po natin si Ms. Ramona Julia Sugkang and Sir Enzo Bonoa, ang founders po ng Exercise Manila, and of course ang ating friend psychologist, Professor Yang Gatchalian. Good morning po, Ms. Ramona and Sir Enzo.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Ayan, good morning po sa inyong tatlo, no? Salamat po na kahit holiday, no, sinamahan niyo po kami para sa ating Wellness Check episode ngayong umaga. Okay, so ayan, actually po may mga questions kaming natanggap, no, mula sa ating mga teachers na talagang inipon natin para naman meron tayong pag-usapan ngayong umaga. Kasi I believe no, napakahalaga talaga ng physical wellness sa panahon ngayon. At yun ang i-expound natin ngayong umaga. Okay, so ayan. Ito po, dahil si Miss Julia and Sir Enzo, no, nagturo sila ng body and fat burning workout. Talaga namang, yes, Ma'am Yang. Opo. Body and fat burning workout po.
Huwag nang ulit-ulitin.
So, ayan, may mga, sorry po. May mga success stories po tayong natanggap tungkol doon, no? Pero bago po natin puntahan yon, no, ano po ang importance ng exercise ngayong panahon ng pandemic?
Ngayong panahon. Well, actually, kahit hindi naman pandemic, Ms. Joanne, exercise is one of the best things na pwede natin gawin para sa buhay talaga natin. But especially now, mas urgent siya. Because health is really seen as something that we need to take care of, especially now. Kasi ang dami-dami na po talaga tao na nagkakasakit, hindi lang po sa COVID, but many other illnesses which can also weaken our immune system. So yung kailangan po natin gawin, we need to bulletproof our own health through nutrition and exercise.
Yes, exactly. And I think that exercise is also good not just for the physical health, but mentally as well, because it gives you something to look forward to. It keeps you motivated. And it's a way of expressing love to yourself as well. So that helps you carry on and move forward even during these difficult times.
Quick disclaimer lang. Exercise and nutrition will definitely not make us immune to any sort of illness or infection. but it will definitely increase our chances.
Correct. I like that part when you said, Enzo, yung bulletproof, no? Parang pakiramdam ko, kailangan ko talagang bumili ng vest na ito. Saan ba nabibili yan? So anyway, pero alam mo kasi, the trend now, no, the model that we use when we talk about health is the biopsychosocial, no? Na kapag kahit sabihin mo na talagang nagji-gym ka and all, pero ang mind mo ay hindi maayos, no? Yung intrapersonal relationship, meaning your relationship with yourself, no? Your capacity to make decisions, no? Solve problems, yan. Paano ka mag-manage ng mga psychological stressors mo? Kapag hindi yan maayos, hindi yan na ma-manage, then yung body system, wala rin, di ba? Kasama dun yung relationship. Pero kasi, yung body system mo, napakalakas ng effect niya sa iyong psychological system. Kasi halimbawa, yung ating tinatawag na nervous system. So meron yung brain, the central, tapos yung mga muscles mo. They're so connected. Meron mga pathways yan kung saan nagkukos ng sakit ng katawan yung naiisip mo mismo. Like for example, you've heard psychosomatic illnesses. What are these psychosomatic illnesses? Yung mga nakikinig po sa atin dyan, mga nanay, di ba, pag malapit na ang sweldo, ang sakit ng ulo mo, lagi mataas ang dugo mo, lagi mainit ang ulo mo. Bakit? Kasi nandiyan na si Judith, di ba? O ngayon, sweldo na, lahat ng mga nanay nakangiti. Bakit? Ang ganda ng mood nila kasi may parating. Ang ganda rin ng pakiramdam nila, hindi mataas ang dugo nila. Kasi meron kang gagamitin for the day. And that is reality, di ba? Kapag tayo ay maraming uncertainty, nararamdaman mo yung katawan mo slowly, they drop down, di ba? Kasi ang dami mong iniisip, natatalo ka. So ano importansya nito sa panahon ng pandemic, no? Very timely. Nung nakikita ko yung exercises ni Enzo, sabi ko, my God, meron bang option? Parang gano'n, no? Kasi ang problema natin ngayon is physiological. And remember, John, nung nag-talk ako about self-care, I said, the best weapon dito sa COVID na ito ay ang ating mental health. Because if your mind is fixed, you can manage things, you can make decisions, alam mo kung paano mo lalabanan si COVID. So you need to, drink more water, eat the right kind of food, exercise, kung kaya ng katawan na exercise. Kung gusto mo mag-bending kettlebells, kung gusto mong gawin yung ginagawa ni Enzo. Kung hindi nyo kaya ganun karami, kahit 2 carry na yon, kung yun ang kaya ng katawan mo, di ba? As long as there's movement, no? So you dance.
Totally agree.
Kasi yung mga, di ba? Kasi yung transmitters natin, our neurotransmitters, are also being secreted when you do movements.
So,
yes,
parang
for example,
na-improve po yung mood natin? Ganun po ba yon?
Correct. Alam ba ninyo na ang isa sa mga signs ng pag-deplete ng ating psychological or emotional path is yung tulog ka ng tulog. Yung when you stay longer on the bed, tapos like for example, 10 hours ka nang nandyan, you would notice that your body becomes lazier. Bakit? Because of the depletion of serotonin. No? Hindi nagsisecrete ng serotonin si brain, pati yung oxytocin. Hindi sila lumalabas. Endorphins are also kumbaga parang disinhibited to function, to deplete,
So there's like
to secrete. Di ba? Kasi wala ka movement. So pag gumalaw ka ngayon, sabi ni brain, oy, alive na siya. Bumangon na siya. So ang gagawin ngayon ni brain, magsisecrete siya ngayon ng mga exhibitors. And then you will feel that you're slowly becoming more active, no? So yun yung kagandahan ng movement. Kaya itong work from home na to, ang hirap kasi nakaupo lang tayo. That's why, di ba, what I do, like kahapon, my God, kahapon I traveled from north to south. From Zoom, from Google Meet to Zoom to StreamYard. Yan yung activity ko kahapon. So ang ginagawa ko, tumatayo ako, lumalabas ako, chumichika ako for social connection, tapos para sa katawan, ganyan-ganyan, stretch, bago ako babalik. I make sure that I have transition physically and socially. No? That's how important it is. Kasi si COVID, sinasabi nila dyan, gamit ka ng mask. O di narinig mo, gamit ka ng mask. Pero kung hindi maayos ang isip mo, you don't know how to make good decisions, you would not know how to use the mask.
Yeah.
That's, di ba? Pero kung maayos ang mind mo, tapos functional ka physically, nagko-connect silang dalawa eh. Ang lakas ng connection yan. So you would know now how to battle COVID. No?
Thank you po
Kaya
for that.
Mm-mm.
Yes. Okay. So ayan, mga moms and sirs, talagang napaka-importante ng exercise for during this time talaga. Pero ayan, paano po yan? Kasi 'di ba, maraming nag-close, yung mga gyms nag-close and very affected talaga no ngayong merong pandemic dahil meron tayong quarantine, no. So papaano po natin paano po kaya natin paano po natin parang masusustain yung pagiging physical active kahit tayo ay naka-quarantine or kahit merong pandemic?
Well, one way talaga ay sumama po tuwing Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. sa ating Stronger from Home workouts.
Yes.
Diba?
Yeah.
Naniniwala po kami na even if you do that, yan lang yung workout ninyo once a week, it's still better than no workout. But on top of that, dito na po talaga pumapasok ang discipline. Dito na po pumapasok ang discipline. Sanay po kami ni Julia sa pag-workout sa gym, sa totoo lang. Pero dahil hindi na po kami makakapunta sa gym, we started learning more about how to work out effectively and efficiently dito sa bahay. So on top of that, diet po. Isa po yan sa mga pinaka-importante. Si Ms. Yang mentioned it po, we don't get to move as much. And because we don't move as much, yung calorie expenditure natin, mas kumukonti. That meaning, it's more likely for us to gain unwanted weight. So that's why we need to discipline ourselves both in exercise, pero importante na din talaga ang sa diet. Right, Julia?
Yes. Actually, in relation yan to building sustainable habits at home. Kasi many people might be worried, lalo na kami, we were gym goers, and then eventually now forced to work out at home. I think we just have to not overwhelm ourselves with the thought na, okay, exercise, it has to be an hour, more than an hour, it has to be with specific equipment. But start with what you have. Look around your house. I think this whole quarantine is teaching us to look at the things in our house, the things that we have, and the things that we're blessed with. So as simple as maybe if you're looking for weights, a backpack with books. You can get yung lalagyan ng tubig, ng dispenser, diba? For weights. Or as simple as water bottles, and then you can just fill it up. So stuff like that. And it's about, syempre, like Enzo said, discipline. You have to put it in your schedule. Because if it's not in your schedule, then you won't actually be able to do it. Diba? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. That's what they say, right? So you have to incorporate it. Lalo na mga teachers, mahilig tayo sa mga scheduling. We have to do that. So might as well put in the exercise during a time that you can do it sustainably. It doesn't matter if it's in the morning or at night. They're both may benefits yan, both in the morning and at night. But do it in a time that you can do it consistently. So you can start with 10 minutes, as simple as that, and eventually it can lengthen pa, and you can intensify pa the exercise. So start small and start with what you have.
Thank you.
Hindi ko gusto yung topic ng calorie, ano yun? Calorie expenditure.
Yeah.
Pwede ba mag-off na ako? Off na ako?
Never, ayan. Napaka-importante talaga po no, na isama talaga natin yung diet no, sa mga bata. Kasi ngayon po, na merong, kasi lagi tayo nasa bahay, no, ngayon. Parang yung pagkain din talaga natin minsan, hindi na natin na check. Kaya marami ngayong mga post no, na talagang nag-gain sila ng weight. Ayan. So, mga moms and sirs, please, ayan, you can take note of that. And of course, yun nga sinabi ni Miss Julia, no, na you can include exercise sa schedule ng mga learners. And it's really, it can make a difference, no? Kasi pag ginawa ito ng bata or ng learner, no, sa bahay, this can be parang a family activity, no?
Yeah,
so para magkakaroon ng exercise with the family.
Very true.
True.
If I may add there, actually, I started out with my wellness journey 11 years ago. So bata-bata pa po ako nun. Pero yung nag-introduce po sa akin nun ay yung aking ate tsaka magulang. So it's really a big influence to me. Right now, my career is revolved around wellness and fitness. But it really, just looking back, nagsimula po talaga yun sa influensya ng aking pamilya.
Totoo yan, totoo yan. You know, my children, they're into sports also. Kasi yung tatlong anak ko are Taekwondo Black. So yung ngayon, hindi sila nagpa-practice. Wala na kasi yung varsity sa school, wala na rin. So anyway, bata pa sila, trinina sila ng husband ko. They do jogging and I will repeat, they do jogging. No? They do jogging. Okay? Sila yon, hindi ako. Kaya dun sa community namin noon sa Palawan, nakikita silang apat na nagja-jog. O, nasa nanay nyo, tulog pa. Ganyan. So, ang lagi ko excuse. Kasi lagi akong puyat sa paperwork. Pero anyway, sila, nakita ko talaga yung improvement. Tsaka yung sobrang, they don't drink soft drinks, no juice. Habang ako si soft drinks, sila talagang wala, no? So minsan nagigilty ako kasi parang buti pa sila. And even now, tama yung sinabi ni Enzo, ang lakas ng influence kapag nakikita ng bata because my granddaughter, she's 4, she sees her mom and her aunt and her uncle, no? Do yoga, tapos nagpa-practice sila yung kicking nila, ganyan. And she also has her own yoga mat. Para pag nag-exercise ang mama niya o ang tita niya, she would get her own yoga and then she would say, I'll join you. I'm going to do exercise also.
Oh, 4 years
so
old?
So meron siyang ganong thinking. Yeah, at 4 years old, she has her own yoga mat and she knows where to place it and she knows when to use it. Ganyan. Pero it's very strong that ito kasi yung tinatawag na modeling. Diba? They see it, they follow it. Pero dito mo rin makikita, pag mas matanda, mahirap sumunod katulad ko, no? Pero I also do exercise, my own exercise, because I also have asthma. So I cannot do the usual things that they do or what you do. So ang ginagawa ko minsan, I do stretching. I just make sure that my muscles are stretched, no? Like for example, for a long-term period of sitting down for those who are working from home, you can stand up and then you can do stretching like that. And then even your legs, while you're sitting down, you have to make sure that you stretch them out because yung circulation ng blood mo, hindi nagiging maayos. And if that happens, lalong nakakaramdam yung body natin ng stress. No? And that also means that on how you sit also has so much to do with the body and mind connection. Like for example, now we're sitting down. If you sit down, work, and you slouch like that, your mind cannot function well because the body or the brain interprets that as you're not well. That's why even yung posture natin, para maging mas active si brain, yung posture mo, yung posture winner. Kumbaga parang...
Paano po ba yun?
Yung mga tipong kailangan ganyan. No? You feel it's actually feeling your muscles here. Tama? Tama ba ako yung mga terms ko? Huwag niyo nang pansinin yung terms ko. Basta yung nararamdaman mo, there's sensation here na parang may electricity or electrical pulses na yan. And then you will feel it. Tapos, ganyan ka lang. Kaupo ka. Magtrabaho ka. Mararamdaman mo na yung mas active yung brain mo sa pag-function. When you do your work na nakaganyan ka, ang bilis mag-function, ang bilis ng mga ideas. Kasi nagko-connect alam ni brain na, uy, active siya. So mag-aayuda siya ngayon ng mga transmitters that will enable you to think better. And so if you're doing report or lesson plans ng mga teachers, kapag kayo po ay nakaganyan, mapapansin mo, pati isip mo, tamad na tamad. Yan. Kaya kailangan pag umupo ka, kasama yan you will feel because your brain gets signal from the other neurons that you are well, and so he would give you more transmitters that can make you more active, and that will enable you to come up with good decisions, and then you can solve problems. Ganyan yung connection nila, ang powerful niyan. Even your breathing, pag huminga ka tapos ganyan ang hininga mo, ang read ni brain doon, something is wrong. That's why the magic of breathing should be calibrated. Kaya yung exercise, ang ganda niyang training for proper breathing. Because if you breathe well, your brain also gets that message na she's managing it. Tapos mapapansin mo na you think better. Kaya pag galit kayo, huwag kayong gumawa ng decisions. Kasi pag galit ka, mali ang breathing mo. Ganyan. So galit ka. Ang iniisip mo, papatayin ko siya, nakakainis siya. Di ba? Pero subukan mo humanap ng pwesto, tapos huminga ka ng maayos. Dahan-dahan lang. Maya-maya mapapansin mo, pati emotions mo, nagka-calibrate siya. And then, that's one way of managing emotions. No, kaya yung pag properly trained ka sa exercise, pati yung breathing mo, kasama siya dun sa training na yon. Yan. I mean, that's how powerful the connection is. No?
You mentioned po breathing and sitting down talaga. These are things that we take for granted. Pero ginagawa natin to for extended hours per day. Of course, breathing mo 24/7. Pero yung sitting, nagagawa natin maybe 5 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours. So kailangan talaga from the get-go, strategic na agad yung pag-approach natin doon.
Yeah. Right. Pag umupo ka, ganyan. You have to invest on that, no? You have to be mindful about your posture. Kasi pag ang posture mo, nakaganyan ka lagi, pansin mo ang nega-nega. Oo. Tapos pag may nakakita sa'yo, naiinis din. Yeah. Kumbaga feeling mo, Catriona Gray ka. Bakit ba? Lang naman. Oo, ganyan, di ba? Sabi nga nila, you see winners by the way they stand. You see winners by the way they speak. You see winners by the way they, the posture says it all. And they think that posture is only for aesthetic, parang, tama, it's not aesthetic. It's not just about beauty. Posture is for your wellness. It really has so much to do with that. Sometimes we really take that for granted. Even when Enzo said, humihinga tayo lagi, di ba? So yung paghinga natin, talagang akala natin nandiyan lang siya. Pero napaka-powerful niya para ma-boost yung mindset ng isang tao.
Yeah.
And smile. Tignan mo sila, ang gundo-gundo nila lang. Lagi sila nakasmile. Pag nakangiti ka talaga lagi, alam mo, bukod sa gumaganda ka, gumaganda rin yung feelings mo, yung emotion mo. Kasi nadidetect din ni brain. Alam mo si brain, maraming tauhan yan. Namamasyal sa katawan mo. Tapos sasabihin niya, nakangiti ba? Yung ganyan. No? So pag nakita mo siyang comic strip, kaya kayong mga magulang, mga teachers, magbasa kayo ng libro ni Doc Aga, ni Doc Luis Gatmaytan. You will see how well he illustrated, he talked about what is in your body that is connected to your mind and connected to your decision. Ang ganda ng mga books niya, no? Pati yung flow, yung ng dugo, pinapakita niya doon. Tapos paano ito nakaka-affect sa atin. Kaya yung tandaan natin yan, pag ngumingiti ka, bukod sa gumaganda ka, no, gumaganda rin yung pakiramdam mo. Tapos pag may nakakita sa'yo, gumaganda rin ang mundo nila. Kasi kapag nakasimangot ka, di ba? Pag nakasimangot ka, parang negastar. Huwag ganun. Just smile lang.
Ayan. Okay, so kailangan po pala pag nag-exercise, dapat nakasmile din para talagang full package. So, ayan. So, habang nagbubuhat ng weights, no, talagang todo smile tayo. Gusto ka yan. Always smile. Okay. So, ito po, di ba po nauso ngayon yung challenge workout? Di ba? Kasi may mga nakikita ko nito na 25 push-ups per day. Is it okay po ba na i-challenge natin yung sarili natin to do exercise?
Actually, if you think about it, our bodies are really built to move naman. Well, of course, once we get the clearance muna from our physician, then yes, we are built to move. Pero ganito po yun, our bodies are smart. Our bodies are smart. If we keep doing the same thing over and over again, nag-a-adapt po kasi yung katawan. So the point of the challenge is to really challenge ourselves, to push ourselves. So ang kailangan po gawin is to really treat it as a habit, to treat it as a discipline builder. But on top of that, these are exercises that are meant to improve ourselves physically. Diba? So if you find it hard, sabihin po natin yung 25 push-ups for 30 days. Sabihin po natin yung unang araw, hindi nyo kaya dire-diretso. Pero yung goal niyo, by the end of the 30 days, you can do it straight, and that is progress in itself.
Yes. Actually, I see that these challenges are a good way to, parang to start then your fitness journey. May iba kasi na walang motivation, pero because their friends are also doing it, na-challenge them sila to start. Diba? That's actually the whole point of it. So, you get to push yourself to to reaching from 5 push-ups to 10 push-ups to 25 push-ups. But of course, when you do these challenges, you always have to look at the form and not just form. Form over
Yeah.
form. Okay?
Gusto ko
Okay,
yun.
gusto ko yun. Look at the form.
I love that.
Baka mag-push-ups just for the video, just for the picture.
Yeah.
It's for you eh. It's
Yeah.
really for you. And you also have to learn how to listen to your body. So minsan nadadala tayo sa energy, lalo na when we like to do mga group workouts, di ba? Always remember, yes, use it as a motivation, but of course, go at your own pace also. Kasi baka naman, you push yourselves too hard. Yun. So kailangan may balance din. So but overall, I see these challenges as very beneficial din.
I agree
John,
with that.
pwedeng request?
Sige po, Miss Jen.
Pwede bang sa infographic natin, yun ang pinakamalaking nakalagay? Form, not Japorm. Di ba? Ang ganda. Ang ganda.
Yes, actually.
Kita mo, ang galing.
Opo, napakaganda nun, no? Kasi minsan talaga yung iba, just for the sake of, for posting, kaya gano'n. So sana po, pag gagawin talaga natin yung mga challenges. Yan. Gusto ko yung sinabi ni Coach Julia talaga. Okay. So ayan, eto po. Ano ba yun? So mga challenges po ba, parang may mga limitations? I mean, kasi nung mga challenges, ano po ba yung mga, may mga exercise po ba na kailangan ng supervision or kailangan ng patnubay ng expert?
Well, it's actually, I can definitely say that there are no bad exercises. There are no bad exercises, but it really depends on how you use them. Pwede po natin i-view yung exercise, bawat exercises ko bilang mga tool sa isang toolbox. So tayo na po mismo ang gagamit ng mga tools para i-work on yung sarili natin. So my suggestion in relation to the question is to always start with good habits and good form first. Because these exercises have benefits. Yun nga lang, may risks din. So what we suggest is to always start out at least with proper form, and if necessary, and I would highly recommend this for beginners, is to seek the help of a professional to help you out with your form, to help you out with how to do them, how to breathe properly pa nga, so that when you continue them long term, you are safe, you can continue making progress. Kasi masasabi ko po na if you keep doing them but then you get injured, nako, hindi na po tayo makakapag-exercise niyan.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. Oo, kasi alam nyo, di ba merong bago ngayon, they call it, this is very physical science, no? Neuroplasticity. So what is neuroplasticity? There were findings na kaya mo pala talaga i-calibrate yung iyong brain, no? So halimbawa, from being lazy, pwede kang maging active, no? So yung sinasabi ni Enzo na you begin with form, ibig sabihin, start slow. Kasi ang hirap naman when you follow what they do agad, yung parang, ay, naka-20 siya, 20 din ako agad, no? Context-based lagi yan, context-based. Ano yung kaya ng katawan? Tapos uunti-untiin mo na siyang gagawin. Kasi si brain, nadidetect niya na meron kang gagawing routine ngayon. And yung mga pathways natin, no, kapag may ginagawa ka kasing habit, diba, sinimulan mo, hindi mo dati yan ginagawa, and then you start doing it. You begin with strictly implementing it by means of like, I have something to do now. You have to begin with being strict, not just on the way you do it, but also by reminding yourself na, sige, I'm going to do it for like twice a week muna. Slow, pero kailangan mo siyang sundin. Hanggang sa makasanayan ng body mo. Kasi si brain, hahanapin na niya yun eh. Once na hindi mo na siya ginagawa, magkakaroon ka ng automatic feeling, parang merong, may gagawin ka ngayon. No? So kapag ganon, hindi ka na, alam niyo yung mga nag-exercise na alam ko, when they really get used to it, parang their day is not complete without doing the exercise. kahit na daw hindi sila magbihis, basta importante nag-exercise sila sa morning. Kasi na-form na yung habit na yon. Pag na-form na yung habit na yon, when you do it, it gives a pleasure to your body. And if it gives pleasure to your body, the mind follows. No? Magkasama yan. The pleasure of the body is also the pleasure of the mind. Kaya you begin with scheduling. For example, sige, paano ba to? Kanina nakikinig ako sa inyo. When you said, yung kaya lang ng katawan, hika ako, hindi ako pwede mag-push up, di ba? Agad-agad, yan. So, iniisip ko, sige, balik na lang ako sa dancing. While they were talking, I was thinking about that. Oh, balik sa dancing, yes. So, iniisip ko kanina, sisimulan ko siguro yung isang dance muna, kasi dati nagsasayaw kami dito sa bahay. Isang dance muna. You know, I'm beginning to form. You see that? I'm beginning to form the image of me doing it. Diba? So that's the beginning of habit eh.
Yeah.
That's the beginning of habit. Form it in your mind. I'm going to do it. And then set a plan. Kapag nandiyan na siya, nakikita mo na siya, katulad mga teachers, di ba pag nagpapabasa ka, apple, di ba ganyan? So kailangan sabihin ng bata, apple. Kasi hindi pwedeng nasa isip lang. You need to exercise it. So once you think of like, okay, I'm listening to Enzo and Julia. Sige, gagawin ko to. Nagfo-form na ngayon ako ng image. Tapos, iniisip ko mamaya, baka gawin ko na siya, tapos makikinig na ako sa music. That's slowly how you can do and form it in your body, and then your mind will really tell you, you need to exercise now, di ba? Hanggang sa magiging habit mo na siya. At pwedeng hindi mo na siya ma-break. Ang masakit dito, may mga tao kasi minsan na pag, bawa, every Tuesday, tapos hindi mo na siya nagawa ng Tuesday, minsan ang nagtutuloy-tuloy na habit yung hindi na ginagawa. There should always be a constant reminder hanggang sa maging part na siya ng life mo. So habit is, it doesn't happen in a snap. You know, it's difficult actually. Pero you need to start slowly. Yeah. So that will form habit.
Thank you for that, Ma'am Yen.
Zumba ako mamaya.
Yeah. It's a start.
Gusto ko maging kasing ganda ni Julia. Mag-gym ako, ganyan ako.
Okay, so yun, no, parang wow. So talaga yung naging flow ng discussion natin ngayon. No? So parang, ang ano ko dito, no, yan, you really have to start slow. And of course, pagpilitan yung sarili. Kung kaya, kayanin. Kung hindi, wag pilitin. Okay, so ayan, may mga comments
hanggang
na tayo
kaya
dito.
Lang.
Yes, opo. Ayan, may mga comments na tayo dito from our viewers. No? Ito po mula kay Mr. Lipal Cotilo de Guzman. Good morning, kahit holiday, di ko palalampasin ang wellness. I thank you very much po, sir, for
ang teleserye ng DepEd.
Sa Wellness Check series, pero hindi po ito drama. Pak na pak lang po tayo. Okay, so ito po mula kay Sir, mula kay Cloud Tuhog. Thank you nandyan ang Wellness Check series. Thank you din po, sir, for watching. And ito mula kay Sir Dennis De Jesus. Set your mindset in such a way that stress won't easily present itself to you. Check your habits. Maybe it's your overthinking that invites stress. Nanood siya last week.
Yes!
Sometimes it's what we do that causes stress and we don't realize it. Habits are not easy to change. Try to let go of one bad habit at a time. Yes, start slow. Watching from Region 3, Schools Division Office of Bulacan, Santa Maria Central District. Hello po sa mga taga-DepEd Bulacan.
Nandiyan ako nung isang araw.
Wow. Okay, so ayan, may questions din po tayo dito. Kung mamarapatin niyo po, babasahin ko na po para sa inyo. Ito po, mula kay Miss Hannah Cortez. Ayan, ito, very itong issue ngayon, no? Kasi to sa social media ngayon. How do we reconcile #body positivity and exercising? Right now, there is a growing movement that encourages people to embrace their body no matter what shape and size they are in to avoid body shaming. While the intention of the movement is good, I have been seeing some people using it as an excuse to overlook the need for regular exercise or proper nutrition. Sometimes they equate exercising with being anti-body positive. So, ayan.
Body positivity. Yeah, kasi ganito yun. I'm sure Enzo and Julia would agree with me with this, no? You don't exercise because you want to look good. Ako, I'm just kidding when I said, just so you can look like them, no? It's actually more of like an internal thing, no? When you exercise nga, kasi better, good neurotransmitters, hormones start going around your body, allowing you to have better thought processing, no? Yung cognitive functioning natin, emotions are managed or calibrated. Well, it doesn't make you become a perfect person na sinasabing hindi ka na magagalit, hindi ka na maiirita, hindi ka na malulungkot. No, it's not that. It only means that when all this negativity happens to you, when you start feeling them, if you have a good mindset on your health, no, and you practice it, then you are also able to think better, no? So thought process also becomes better. Kaya minsan meron akong nakakausap, ang sabi niya sa akin, magda-diet na ako. Tapos sabi ko, sige, para saan? Ang sagot niya, kasi para gumanda ko. Matanda na rin siya, katulad ko, no? And then yung kasama namin, ang sabi niya, ay hindi, dapat hindi yun ang iisipin mo. Mag-diet ka kasi tumatanda na tayo. Ibig sabihin, you need to, improve your physical being because you also need to improve your mindset. Diba? Your well-being. That's part of well-being. So yung movement, sana ang basa natin sa kanya, how to love yourself. And when you do exercise, it's not because you want to be sexy. That should not be parang the reason for doing it. It should be more of the healthy body and mind and the connection between your body and mind. That should be the goal, no? Yan, kaya body shaming wag naman sana. Pero yun nga, kumbaga parang we have to look at it as more of a biopsychosocial model of health.
I totally agree, Ms. Yang. You mentioned po na the goal should really be loving yourself enough. Take care of yourself. I think kami, Julie, we actually went over this topic a couple of times also. And we actually came to the agreement that body positivity is a great movement nga. Because it empowers people to love themselves. Pero we would like to add to that. We would like to say that a healthy approach or viewpoint sa body positivity is loving yourself despite its flaws, pero loving yourself enough to take care of your body.
Yeah.
Ganda nun.
Uwian na.
May nanalo na. Okay, so yan, really have to, parang love ourselves. And yung nga, parang let's strive to be. It's part of our parang will to become a better person. Kasi dapat maging holistic din tayo, di ba?
Correct, yeah.
So, ayan.
Yes.
Ito, madami tayong mga questions and comments na ngayon. In
Oo.
fairness, mula
Oo.
ito sa Luzon hanggang Mindanao.
Wow.
Okay, so ito. Yes, ito.
Meron bang Saba dyan? Ay,
Wala.
joke.
Hanggang
Wala.
Tawi-Tawi lang po tayo. Ayan, sa mga teachers po natin from Sulu and Tawi-Tawi. Hello po sa inyo.
Hello
Ma'am,
po.
lalo na po kay Ma'am Raj and kay
Oh.
Sir Kidong.
Ay, hello.
We have any Batanes?
Sure po akong meron ding Batanes.
Awesome.
Ayan. Yes po. So, ito po mula kay Miss Robeline, the keyword, makasayip. Ang ganda ng topic. Ngayon, nakakawala ng stress. Actually, isa po ito sa mga reasons kung bakit namin ginagawa ang Wellness Check series para po matulungan kayong mawala yung stress. And of course, kayo din ma-manage nyo ang inyong emotions. Okay? So ayan, mula po kay Miss Socorro Eranista, thank you. You really gave a reminder to manage my systems. Good morning. Okay, so ito po ang question pa dito. Ayan, ito po mula kay Miss Gina Bahaw, mula pa po sa DepEd Cebu City. I'm curious to know if there is an exercise regimen for those who suffered from stroke. Ay, paano po ba ito, Coach Enzo and Coach Julia?
Actually, we would first recommend that you have to check your doctors. You have to get the consult with your doctor first and get the go signal. Because actually in anything, whatever situation, condition that you're in, it's also best to consult first with your doctor. With regards to best exercise, we would just like to recommend what is find the simplest exercise that is for you, not necessarily like the extreme. Always listen to your body first. Of course, once you got the go signal from your doctor, listen to your body. You don't have to go at the pace that your instructor is going at. And you can always, again, check the form because you may be doing it intensely, tapos yung pala, you're not doing it the right form. So you always have to know the right way to do it. That way, you can do it the healthy way, right?
Yeah.
Right.
If we could answer the question, what is the best exercise? Siguro, not just necessarily for someone who has undergone a stroke or just basically everyone. Our bodies have different functions kasi. We can pull, we can push, we can squat, we can crunch our abs. Many movements can be done. And it's very important for us to exercise each movement. Yung mga pushing muscles, yung mga pulling muscles, we need to exercise those. But we also need to exercise our hearts. So the cardiovascular exercise is actually one of the best things that we can do for our general health. So as long as we are able to tackle all of these necessities for a fit and healthy body in terms of movement, then the best exercise for me would be the one that you can sustain for a long time and have fun with it. So I'll give you an example. Ako, I love playing. I love running. I love running, but I don't like running on the treadmill. Diba? So, bakit ko pipilitin ng sarili ko to run on the treadmill when I know that it's something I don't really enjoy? So, yung ginagawa ko na lang, I wake up extra early para mag-isa lang ako sa labas. Then that's when I do my runs. Of course, with a mask.
Yes. I Adrian, kasi we're talking about exercise and in relation to stroke. We always want to also highlight the importance of nutrition because nutrition plays a huge role in terms of building our, immune system and trying to, sabi ni Enzo, bulletproof ourselves. So, it's 80-20, 80% nutrition, 20% exercise. So you have to also pair it up with good eating habits, trying to change yung mga kinakain nyo. Look at the food that you have at home and then maybe try to switch out the certain food with healthier versions. So you don't necessarily have to take out everything and then buy everything na vegetables, fruits, ganyan. Pero change certain things lang para paunti-unti, you're already building healthier eating habits as well.
Yeah, speaking about nutrition, di ba pag pupunta ka nga ngayon sa mga grocery, ang wala na baking powder, baking soda, because everyone's baking. Diba? Parang that's okay if you make it like, for example, for business, okay, sige, go, for family bonding, go, but don't overdo, no? Kasi there are also options if you want to bake cake, or if you want to, like, for example, cook cordon bleu, then put malunggay inside. Di ba? Parang ganyan, no? If you want to cook spaghetti, pasta, you use yung mga greens. Nagluluto ako ng ganun pasta instead of buying tomato sauce. You get the real tomato and then bili ka ng greens, yung kangkong, tapos yun yung kasama ng spaghetti. There, you have pasta. So yung nutrition really has so much to do with it kasi, like, for example, if you're suffering from negative emotions, you're experiencing negative emotions, to which yung mga naka-experience ng stroke also suffers from that, no? Hindi lang yan physical issue, it's more of a mind issue. Kasi kapag na-stroke ka, syempre, you're really limited to do things, no? And so yung pagkain nila, siguro dapat bawasan ng kanin kasi ang kanin, especially if you take so much of that at night, nakakabigat siya ng pakiramdam. So if there's negative emotion, lalong bumibigat kasi sumasama yung katawan, no? And that may reinforce negativity. Right? Another thing also, siguro idadagdag ko lang din dun sa mga, going back to the topic of stroke, yung muscle relaxation, kung hindi kakayanin, yung mga nakikita natin na very active physical exercise, pwede ho yung kamay, kasi pag ganito yung close open, no? That's a very good way of reminding your body that your muscles still need to, function and they're still functioning. Mapapansin mo pag gumaganon ka, dito nagkakaroon ng sensation going to your torso, di ba? From the distal to the proximal. That's a very good way of relaxing your body. That is also one exercise that we facilitate to people suffering from anxiety disorder. Kapag nahihirapan sila, natatakot sila, no, ipinapa-close open or di kaya yung tapping of finger. Tatap ng finger sa lap, no, or any flat surface, ganyan. Tapos mararamdaman mo yung sensation going to your torso. Tapos, nagbibigay kay mind kay brain ng signal yon na, oh, you're still active, okay ka pa. No? So, aside from the nare-relax yung muscles mo, nagkakaroon pa rin ng association yung mind mo doon sa body mo. Nagko-connect pa rin sila kasi nakakarating kay brain yon, you're still active. That's one way. Another is yung facial exercise. So yung mga stroke patients natin, yung kanilang facial, di ba? Facial nerves, no? So, kasama na rin yan para lalo tayong gumanda kahit na tayo ay nagpapagaling. Di ba? Yung ganyan.
Wow.
Kasi, di ba, parang bukod sa beautification, no, nagbibigay din, ini-exercise niya yung nerves na humina sa mukha natin nung nagkaroon tayo ng stroke. No? So yung mga ginagawa, yung mga teachers na nakapanood na kay JK, yung stretch, yun. Ang ganda nun, no, for those who suffered stroke. Kasi isa sa mga issues nila, they cannot eat. Dahil hindi nila mabuksan ng ganyan. So, unti-unti yan. Dahan-dahan lang. Yan. So, ito yung ibang mga exercises na pwede natin gawin, no? Para sa mga nag-suffer ng stroke. Pati yung legs nila, imamassage. Tapos yung toes na ginaganon, kina-crunch. Yan, malaking tulong din yan. Para yung kanilang mga nerve endings ay unti-unting nabubuhay. Yan. So, pag nakalagpas na kayo dyan, patulong na kay Enzo Oo, Joseph. Oo, yan, sana kayanin ko. Pero Zumba muna.
Ayan, in fairness, no, talagang yung nutrition is very, very important, no. Ngayong month, July is the Nutrition Month, National Nutrition Month. So, ayan, sana po hindi lang siya every July. Sana buong taon ginagawa natin yun, no. And ito nga, na-share namin to sa aming Fostering Wellness, Solidarity, and Service post ngayong July, no, yung pagkain ng tama. So, practice po natin yung pinggang Pinoy, yung talagang ensure natin na kumakain tayo ng go, glow, and grow food and drink enough water para talagang maging okay yung katawan natin. Kasi sabi nga ni Coach Julia, 80% nutrition, 20% exercise. Tama po ba yun, Coach?
Yes. Sulat ko yan, 80-20, 80-20. Kasi ako, 99-1.
Diba, may tanong tayo dito mula po kay Mr. Paolo Aquino. Coach Enzo and Coach Julia, what can you suggest to those who are not used with physical exercise? Those who are having a hard time to do it or those who have sedentary lifestyle? Thanks and hi to Miss Yen.
Wow.
Kung guilty din po ako dito. Yan, kasi hindi rin po ako used to physical exercise. Though I walk from home to office.
Si Paolo ba yun?
Physical
Si
exercise.
Paolo ba yun? Hi, Pao!
Well,
Yes, Coach Enzo.
I think when we look at a sedentary lifestyle, we need to first look at how sedentary are we nga, diba? So, yes, you mentioned, Ms. Joanne, na you actually walk. That's actually better than
okay na po ba yun?
Walking is actually a really good exercise. It's good for your joints. It's good for your lower back. It's good for your heart, diba? You burn calories along the way. Hindi siya high intensity sa muscles. But there are also other things that you can do on top of that. So just bear in mind that our bodies are machines. So para tayong mga sasakyan, we want to let the beast out of the cage, kumbaga. So,
oh my God.
Okay,
I'm taking care of my beast.
Taking care of your beast, diba? You are, diba, Miss Yang, I can tell you are a Ferrari. Diba? So,
wow, thank you.
However, remember, you cannot go from 0 to 100 real quick. You have to, diba, lalo na kung diesel engine po, you need to get ready first. You need to heat up the engine. You need to warm up, right? And then you start off slowly. It was mentioned here many times. Also, Ms. Ye mentioned it. Now we start step by step. Each person has their own fitness level, and you cannot get to the level of Manny Pacquiao right away. Diba? So kailangan step by step. Progress is relative. Progress is relative. You want to be able to progress at your own pace, in a safe pace, and get the help po of your physician or trainer so that you can do it supervised as well.
Yes, I actually like I actually like to add rin na if you are, parang you lack motivation and you want to get started, you're not the type of person who's super active. I like what Enzo said, start small, and actually don't look at siguro exercise as if it were on the top of the staircase. Kasi that way, parang it seems overwhelming. Ay, hindi ko yung kakayanin. Ay, sobrang intense yan. Hindi ko yung kaya. Pero just look at the steps that are in front of you. Take it step by step. And eventually, you'll realize na nandun ka na sa goal mo. Right? And progress, by the way, it's not determined by what you look like or how you look like or what you see in the mirror. It's not determined by what you see on the scale also, right? But it boils down to how you feel. Like if you felt na, you know what, I exercised today, kahit 10 minutes or what, I feel good. That's a good start. And then tomorrow you can try again and you feel much better. That is a big indicator of progress. It doesn't have to be, ay, parang mukha pa akong malaki, hindi ako nag-progress. Pero it boils down to how you feel. Yun.
Right. Alam mo, di ba tayo, Jo, pag magkakasama tayo, lalo na pag Rojas ang pinupuntahan natin, talaga namang walang pakialam sa pagkain. Ang lalaki ng mga alimango. Hello po, ang makasalanang syudad. Makasalanan sa pagkain dahil Diyos ko ang sugpo, ang crabs, ewan. So, alam niyo minsan may biro ako sa kanila na pag kumakain kami, sasabihin ko, kakain ako kasi I value my psychological well-being. Kumbaga parang, pag hindi ako kumain, tas alam mo yon, hindi ako makakatulog kasi hindi ko nakain yung gusto kong kainin. Minsan joke talaga yan, no? I use that as a joke. But the reality is that if you eat good, no? If you eat the right kind of food, it's not just on the amount of food that you eat, it's also on what you eat. Kaya ngayon, itong mga panahon ng pandemya, ang dami nakakaranas ng negative emotions because of what they eat. Sasabihin nila, like for example, may mga nakakausap ako for counseling. I ask them, kumusta ang tulog mo? And then pagdating namin sa pagkain, kumusta ang kain mo? Ganun pa rin naman po, nakakain pa naman ako na maayos. Yung dami daw, ganun pa rin naman daw. Pero ang tanong ko, kumusta ang chichirya mo? Diba? Kasi akala natin, wala silang dinadagdag sa katawan mo. Kaya lang yung salt, no, ang bigat niyan. Tapos, nakakadagdag talaga yan sa mga negative feelings natin, negative emotions natin. Sumasama siya chemical yan, pumapasok sa katawan mo. Whatever you put inside also affects your emotions, no? Kaya nagdi-deplete lalo yung mga energy nila kasi kinakalaban ng mga chemicals, yung mga natural na laman na components ng body mo. And that now decreases your resistensya, your capacity to fight off itong COVID, itong flu. Kaya nga 'di ba, ang sabi, isa sa mga paraan para malabanan mo yung COVID, isip. Kasi if you know how to think, you make good decisions, you know the right thing that you should do with your body, you know the right kind of food that you should eat, no? You know when to sleep, you know when to stop for a while working and then take a break and sleep for a while and then go back to working. You know when to connect and how to connect, di ba? They're really very, very connected. And you know, it begins with, yes, start small, no? Habit forming. There should also be a goal. Ang iba, ang ginagawa nila, they come up with visual boards. May magtao kasi very visual. No? So yung mga nandyan, kunan nyo ng picture si Julia, kunan nyo ako ng picture, eto ako ngayon, magiging ganyan ako. Sunod. Yung mga parang ganyan, no? Pero of course, not as young. Pero kasi pag may vision board ka, may lagi ka nakikita. It becomes a constant reminder that this is what I'm going to be like. Kaya kung mapapansin natin, yung mga nagda-diet, anong ginagamit nila? Pantalon. Ipapakita nila kung gano'n nakalaki. Diba? Oo, very visual, no? O, eto na, ganito na ako kaliit ngayon. Ganyan. Pero ngayon, iba na yung usapan. My God, sumikit na naman siya. Kasi nga, kain tayo ng kain. But, people who are very visual, you can make use of vision board, no? So before you sleep at night, when you wake up, there's a constant reminder that this is what I'm going to do next, no? Others naman are used in writing. Again, it's context-based. Kung ano yung kaya ng katawan mo, ano yung use ka na, gamitin mo, take advantage of that. No? Kung sa bahay ninyo, bawa tubig, sayang ang tubig. Ano gagamitin ng tubig pang exercise? Sayang yun. Hindi. Kasi pag nag-exercise ka, di ba, dahan-dahan, tapos meron ka ring cooling down. O di, habang nag-exercise ka, inom ka ng tubig, habang gumagaang siya, cooling down ka na rin. Hindi na bumibigat yung dalawa, hindi, joke lang yan. Pero totoo naman, di ba? You drink that water. Kumuha ka ng tubig na pwede mong inumin para after that, then you convert it, put it inside the fridge, and then drink it. I mean, there are many ways on how we can also make tipid, no? Because exercising, others think that exercise is very expensive. No? You need to buy ang daming yung treadmill, cycling, biking, 2,000 pesos, di ba? Yung mga ganyan, fad na rin kasi siya ngayon. Pero again, it should not be because of the fad. You don't do intermittent dieting or Baron or whatever else because you are within the fad. It should be a mindset of, I need to do this because this is for my health.
Agree.
Not just my physical health, but also my psychological well-being. Diba? Oh my God, now I should be talking to myself after this. Okay. Yeah.
Pero in fairness po, nung ngayong merong pandemic, ako napansin ko to kasi pupunta ako sa supermarket sa dalawang groceries, no? And talaga nakikita ko na yung mga tao talaga, people became more mindful, no? Sa kinakain, more on vegetables na talaga ngayon. And iniwasan, oo. And even yung mga food packs na binibigay ng mga LGUs, no? May mga LGUs ngayon na instead of giving yung usual na noodles and mga canned goods, no, nagbibigay na din talaga ngayon ng vegetable packs, which is very good, no? To really promote
sa amin sa Bacoor, oo. True. Dito sa Bacoor, namili yung aming mayor ng talaga naman tunay-tunaladang vegetables at yun ang pinamigay sa community. Diba?
Ayan, may nagpapabati po pala dito si Miss Vice Helga. Pag-greet naman sa aming mga taga Mindanao, particularly Dipolog City Division. Hello po sa mga taga Dipolog City Division. Hi Sir Neil Sebastian. Marami kami always watching and nakakakuha ng mga positive vibes mula sa inyo. Thank you po ng marami. God bless. Thank you po. Then sa mga taga Dipolog,
can I give a quick shout out lang?
Sige lang po.
Viewers tayo from my hometown sa Ilocos Norte and Masbate.
Ayan.
Ilocano ka pala.
Sa mga taga Ilocos Norte and Masbate, maray na aga po sa inyong pagkagustan. And of course, ito, shout out din sa ating 1.9 and counting na viewers, no? Mula po bahagi ng Pilipinas because we are ito pong natin ngayon ay naka-cross post sa 10 DepEd pages. Okay, so ayan. Yung buntag po sa tanan. Assalamualaikum, maray na aga, maupay na aga po sa inyong lahat. Okay.
Ang saya.
Ito po may comment din mula kay Miss Gracie Cam Camarillo. Loving yourself despite your flaws. Loving yourself enough to take care of your body. Aganda na, ma'am. Ito mula sa Ilocos Norte. Coach Enzo from Escoda Elementary School mula kay Miss Winner Rose Ventura Nicolas. Good morning po. Bonus na lang po yung pagiging sexy and looking good when we exercise. Let's focus sa major benefit we get from it, which is having a healthy mind and healthy body. Men's sana.
Right. True.
Okay, so ito po, may mga questions tayo dito. Ayan, ito po. Mula naman ito kay Miss Jella. Hindi lang po natin alam kung saan siyang division, no? Ito, how to encourage children in engaging in physical activities such as exercise. O nga, paano ba natin talaga ito maituturo or may inculcate sa ating mga learners, lalo na sa magpapasokan na tayo ngayong August? Paano po ba ito, Coach Enzo and Coach Julia? Ano po ba ang mga exercises na pwede nating ituro sa mga bata, lalo na po ngayon na iba yung ating modes of learning?
Yes.
Kasi di ba hindi ngayon pwede yung tawag dito, pagkatapos ng flag ceremony ay mag-exercise. Ano po ba ang pwede nating ituro sa ating mga learners?
Actually, ako po, fun fact, I was a preschool teacher before. And I actually led a Zumba for the kids.
Oh.
And what I did, basically, you have to be, as an adult, you have to set an example to them. Because, of course, it's good that the parents also try to get into exercise, ease into it, para makita po ng kids, like what Ms. Yang said, modeling. Kung ano yung nakita ng bata sa parents, yun din yung gagawin nila. It could be good or bad. So if you want to introduce the habit of exercise to your children, you don't necessarily have to be an expert at it, but siguro you can play a video of dancing, diba? Yung Zumba. And then pwede mong sabayan, right? And then you can tell your kid, oh, join me, right? So, right? It's going to be parang more of like join me, not necessarily like be like me, right? Para na-feel din niya na, oh, my mom or my dad is also doing it with me. Mas nakaka-enganyo din yun. I remember also the Zumba dance that I made for the kids was more of like animal sounds and okay, let's now pretend to be like a frog, like hop like a frog. Parang they get to move, so they're building the habit of moving, always being active, and it doesn't have to be like exercise, like magpo-push ups yung bata or something like that. But it can be as simple as hopping like a bunny or crawling like
Julia, ikaw, like I know na as an athlete, si Julia kasi played for both the women's football and track and field team ng Ateneo ng college. I'm sure na you started out with sports at a young age. Paano ka nagsimula?
Aba, may question din dito.
Yeah. Oo nga, no? Very interesting yun. For our kids also to encourage them to join sports.
Yeah, so actually, sports is a good way also to ease them into exercise.
Parang game time siya.
Yeah, it's more of like a game. I like playing with, kasi I play football, so I like playing, kicking the ball, simple stuff like that. You can also equip your kids with some toys that are related to sports. It can be like a basketball, a football. Actually, a sport is also Rubik's Cube. And so, a Rubik's Cuber naman.
Oh, wow.
So, it exercises the mind.
Yeah, this is my sport.
Yun. So instead of investing in gadgets, maybe as parents, you can invest in actual materials or tools that can promote exercise. Yeah.
I remember when I was younger, kasi my dad was an athlete also. My parents enrolled me in a lot of sports. First love ko talaga was football. In-enrolled nila ako, and I remember like after practice, my dad would give me some extra drills kasama siya. So parang I guess as a young kid, that was something that was very encouraging. We would play basketball a lot together, and then growing up, parang I guess he just looks at me now thinking that, hey, that's something that I instilled in him then. So yeah.
Shout out then to my dad. I got my athleticism from him.
Oh, wow. So ayan.
True, that's true, Doc. Kasi another thing also, siguro that's in the perspective of a child. I follow my teacher, I follow my parents, no? So they become my role model in doing these things, whatever I learned. Tayo naman, in our part, when we do activities with our children, no, whether they're the learners or our children at home, tandaan mo rin yung gusto mo rin gawin. Katulad ng sinasabi ni Julia na because I'm a football player, I love kicking ball. So I do that with my students. When you do something that you also enjoy, like if you like dancing and that's the best exercise for you, then involve your child in dancing. Diba? Kasi yung fun mo rin should also matter. Kasi remember, self-care is balancing. When you connect, Kasi you're connected with your children, with your kids, with your students. At the same time, you are enjoying it. So pleasure comes in because you also like what you're doing. At the same time, there is that sense of fulfillment. So the achievement is now hit, di ba? So swak na swak mo yung tatlong bilog ng balance, no? There's pleasure, you achieve something, and then you were also able to connect with them. And that connection also serves as a very strong influence on the children. Yan, kasi nakikita nila nag-enjoy ka. So there's authenticity in what you do. 'Di ba? Kasi napipilitan ka lang, oh sige, oh game 1. Oh, yeah. Always remember that when we deal with children, we speak their we speak their language, no? We should do it in the way that they understand. Kaya yung acting like an animal, acting like a frog, they're very animated. So you also should be very animated, no? So it's always context based. Kaya ang ganda nung sinishare nyo ngayon, yeah.
Kasi yung sabi po ni Julia, samahan daw yung anak sa pagti-TikTok.
Oh, di ba?
Teka muna, sandali, ang sakit. Alisin ko muna yung headset ko. Actually, I had my very first TikTok with Rian. Ayoko nang ulitin.
Congrats!
So maganda po talaga na mag-start talaga ang physical wellness talaga at home. Ayan. Para naman yung bata. Kasi pwedeng this can be a habit talaga ng bata na madadala hanggang sa pagtanda. Ayan. So mga moms and sirs, dami po nating pwedeng bigay sa ating mga learners, no? Ayan, so ayan, may mga questions pa tayo dito. No? Ito, mula kay Miss Joan Cruz. Can I ask a question, madam and sir? What do you recommend for an exercise to gain weight? It's the other way around from others of how to lose weight. Thank you. Ako din po, this is also my concern. Kasi ayan, naano ko nga kanina, nag-guilty ako sa kanin. Grabe po ako kumain, pero hindi po talaga ako nag-gain weight. So, may exercise po ba na pwedeng gawin to gain weight naman? Coach Enzo and Coach Julia.
I think I can take this. Actually, my wellness journey began when I was 20 pounds underweight. I was a really, parang toothpick yung dating. So, I really wanted to gain weight because, well, my reason was not so that I could have lots of muscles or anything. Actually, my reason was because yung mga tita ko, yung padala nilang gift lagi sa akin, mga 2 sizes bigger. So, gusto ko sana magkasya doon properly. I would say that malakas ako kumain noon. And then I started exercising for weight gain. Now, let me just make this one clear. Ang weight gain, may dalawang approach po yan. You have fat gain and muscle gain.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay? So, just because you're gaining weight doesn't mean that it's healthy. Okay? So, what you actually want is more muscle gain. Okay? Muscle is what we want when we're going for weight gain. Of course, we may gain some fat in the process, pero dapat majority should be muscle. Now, how do we go about that? Una-una is, so let's talk about nutrition first. I said na malakas ako kumain, but I realized na hindi pala ako I'm not eating enough at that sa lagay na yon. Lagi lang ako busog, but hindi pa yon sapat para mag-gain ng weight. Okay? So,
gaano po ba kadami yung dapat kainin?
That's a good question. May tinatawag po kasi tayong law of thermodynamics. Food comes in the form of calories. Calories is a form of energy. So kapag kumakain po tayo ng calories, kumakain tayo ng energy. We do 2 things with that. It's either we burn it or we store it. Okay? So our whole body burns calories every single second. Okay? Every single second, nag-burn tayo ng calories. When we exercise, we burn more calories. But here's the thing. If we don't burn enough, if we eat less calories than what we burn, we will lose weight. If we eat the same number of calories than what we burn, we maintain our weight. But if we eat more calories than what we burn, we gain weight. And yung how many calories we burn, that depends from person to person. Madami po yung factors. You have your age, you have your body composition, you have your activity levels, you have your hormones even. They have different they have different weights when it comes to how much you're burning. So you want to at least have like a ballpark. May mga estimates po yan, and then you can adjust from there. So let's say, I'll give you guys an example. Ako kumakain po, I need to eat, let's say, 2,500 calories a day to maintain my weight. Kailangan ko po kumain ng mas madami pa doon. Sabihin natin 3,000. Okay?
Yeah.
So that's on the nutrition side. Kailangan pa po kumain ng mas madami, and of course the right foods. So not just the amount but also the right kinds. That's the first question, which is not really the question. The question is about exercise. Now about going on to exercise. How do you gain muscle when it comes to exercise? You have to train with progression in mind. Okay, you have to train with progression in mind. Hindi po a person who, if you want to be able to lift heavy, if you want to be able to look bigger, you have to lift heavier. Okay, so you cannot imagine, diba, a smaller person lifting more. So it follows that if you want to get bigger, you also need to lift heavier. So when we're saying lifting, hindi naman yan necessarily na may barbell sa likod ng back ninyo. It can be lifting your own body weight. You can be lifting you can lift yourself up, you can push yourself up, diba? And on top of that, sabihin po natin, in the case at home, right, medyo limited ang ating equipment. You can add more repetition. So sabihin po natin, you can do 10 push-ups. You can, next time, you can do 11 push-ups. That's progress. Or pwede, kung kaya nyo gawing 10 push-ups if you can do 10 push-ups, next time, do 10 push-ups na mas mabagal. That's also progress. Okay? So there are many ways to do progress. That's the name of the game lang talaga. Progression. So you can lift heavier, you can do more repetitions, you can slow down the tempo, you can increase the frequency, and dami po talaga.
Yeah, that reminds me kasi when we do therapy, no, in treatment planning, yun yung pumapasok sa isip ko while we're talking. In treatment planning, kasi it's very important to know what is the capacity of the person to follow that treatment plan, di ba? So hindi ito pwedeng bagsak ka lang ng bagsak. You also have to check, kaya ba niya? Asan yung malakas? Asan yung mahina? No? So when we do treatment planning, we think of the acronym SMART. It should be specific. What's your goal? Diba? Ano ba yung goal mo? Para saan ba yan? No? Measurable. Kailangan may unit ka talaga. Kaya yung sinasabi ni Enzo na yung from 10 to 11, di ba? Kaya ba? Attainable ba to? Di ba? For example, kami sa sleep. If the client has sleep issues, so I will ask the client, ilang oras ka nakakatulog sa isang araw? On the average of 1 week, pag sinabi niya, mga nakakadalawang oras lang po ako hindi ko pwedeng sabihin sa kanya, sige, after a week, balik ka dito, kailangan naka 8 hours ka na. That's really not attainable, di ba? And not measurable. Also, it's not realistic kasi from 2 to 8 hours. So yung sinasabi ni Enzo is that the progression should also be, yes, kailangan smart ka. Yung alam mo kung anong ginagawa mo, kaya ba talagang mangyari ito? Maaabot mo ba ito? At makatotohanan ba siya? Di ba? Is it realistic? And of course, kailangan may timetable ka. No? It may not be a very strict timetable like in 5 days I need to lose 5 kilos. Oh my God. Di ba? Di ba? In timetable mo should also be realistic depending on your capacity, what you want to attain, no? So lagi natin iisipin yung SMART na yon in everything that we do yan. Kaya very clear dun sa nagsasalita si Enzo kanina, pumapasok siya sa isip ko na oo nga, it should be context-based talaga. Ano yung kaya mong gawin? Yan.
Ayan, thank you po. Ayan. Meron ditong follow-up question, Sir Coach Enzo, no? Ayan, mula kay Justine Tejada de la Cruz. Ayan, paano daw po mag-compute ng calorie surplus?
Please teach us.
Opo, kasi ako parang, ilang calories ba ang dapat kong kainin para naman lumaki ako ng konti?
Okay, so if you are calculating for your caloric surplus, ito po yung suggestion.
Caloric.
Okay, your caloric surplus. I'm not too sure which one's proper. I think for you. Anyway, yung caloric surplus, that's basically derived from your maintenance. your maintenance. So there are actually many ways to get your maintenance calories, but there is no one exact way to get it. So we just have to work with estimates. Okay, so estimates po talaga. Pero sabihin natin, plus minus 100 calories, that's actually a rather good estimate then. Better than not getting an idea, right? So there are many ways to do it. One way is trial and error, which may take a while, which I think would be the most accurate. But the second one that you can do for already a ballpark number is may mga online calculators po.
Yeah.
That's something that we do. Online calculators, you may just go online. There are many calculators online. I suggest just Googling BMR, so Bravo, Mama,
Zero.
Romeo. R. I said R. Layo na. So BMR calculator. Okay, you search that on Google, and then it's going to ask you for
Height, age, and weight.
height, age, weight,
Oh,
and
so
then
it's like the BMI, the body mass index, pero ano lang siya?
That one is different naman. This one
yeah.
will give you the amount of calories that you burn at rest. So basal metabolic rate.
Yes.
So rest meaning as if you were lying down. If let's say you're lying down lang the whole day, that's how many calories that you're burning. So meron chart doon na lalabas to show you depending on your activity level, how many calories you parang suggestion na i-take nyo or to consume.
So it's going to ask you if you're active, how active are you? So then you can check that. And then from there, you know how many calories you're burning. That's what you call your maintenance. Gagawin po natin.
Bump it up.
Add perhaps 300 or 500 calories. Personally, I only add 300 because kapag 500, medyo bumibilis na po yung pag-gain ko ng fat. But as long as you're adding, you will gain weight.
Yes, but you have to make sure kasi there are many payat. They call themselves blessed yung eating a lot pero hindi nag-gain. Actually, that was me before.
Oo nga, nakakainggit.
Pero what we have to take note na yung calories, kailangan quality calories. Kasi may difference between empty calories and quality calories. So empty calories yan yung mga hindi nagbibigay masyado ng nutrients sa katawan natin.
Low nutritional value.
Yes. So or less nutrient dense. So you want to go for quality calories. So let's say, you're given, you're gonna consume 2,000 calories. Make sure at least majority of it, 80%, we're going back to the 80-20, 80% of it is nutritious, and then you can of course squeeze in 20% na fun food. Parang like what Miss Yang said, you have to make it sustainable. Kasi baka naman you're taking 2,000 calories of just pure nutritious food, pero parang you feel like you're deprived, you're not having fun. It's okay to squeeze in at least 20% fun food.
True.
Well, of course, kung masarap naman po kayo magluto ng healthy food, by all means.
Pwede 100%, diba? Pero yun, you can treat yourself. I'm trying to
do that now.
Treat yourself once.
Yung mga cheat days, no? Yes, cheat day. I love cheat days.
So yeah, thank you very much po. So yan, last question natin for today's episode. No? So ito, mula kay Ms. Rita Magandayaw. So happy ako na to kanina, no? Sa ating first question. Ito, will exercise uplift depressive thoughts? And what exercises will you advise?
Oh, Ms. Yang, would you take this one?
Yes, definitely. No, kasi nga when your body is active, nagsisecrete yung ating brain ng mga exhibitors, no? Yung mga neurotransmitters, hormones that will enable you to think better. Kaya nga kapag active ka, active si brain, nagsasama silang dalawa. Yung activity na yan ngayon, pwede siyang magpababa. No? It will help decrease negative emotions, not just depression or depressive feelings, but also anxiety, no? Yung mga may panic attacks, ganon. Kaya halimbawa, like now, in time of COVID, ang daming tao yung na-anxious. No? Tapos, ang kasama pa doon, since we cannot go out and we cannot do more physical activities outside, less social engagement. Pagkatapos, ang dami pang negativities, kaya ang dami nakaka-experience ngayon ng mga emotional issues. So you have to take advantage of what you have at home, no? Keep your connection. Kung yung dati sinasabi natin walang technology, kailangan iwasan natin yung mga social media. Sila ang kakampi natin ngayon kasi diyan ka nagko-connect. But of course, you have to do it the right way, no? And in moderation. And at the same time, yun na nga, ang dami ko nakikita nagtatanim. Cacti, kaya tanim sila, ganda. Tanim din tayo ng kangkong kung kaya naman sa bahay natin, di ba? Kung ano yung pwede para meron ka ring ibang source, no, other than, buying. And yung exercising kasi, like for example, ako I have asthma. I cannot do what Julia and Enzo do. But maybe like the stretching can also help. That again, like I said earlier, that can be a form of exercise. Napakalaking tulong ng activity sa mind natin. Even in transiting from work from home, relaxation to work. For example, when you wake up, physical activity, paano? Pagbangon mo, di ba tamad ka pa? So how do you prep for work? Ligpit mo yung higaan mo. Pagpag mo yung kumot mo. See, that's already an exercise. Pagbangon mo, pagpag mo yung kumot mo, tapos tiklupin mo siya, it sends signal to your brain that, ops, tapos na ang sleep time, work na. Kasi gumagalaw na yung katawan mo. Di ba? And then pagkatapos nun, then you start working on your body. Kasi yun yung sinasabi natin na pag hindi ka gumagalaw, lalo niyang nare-reinforce yung negative thoughts kasi nga, stagnant ka. Kaya kanina, di ba, pati yung body natin, yan. That's why, alam niyo, sa totoo lang, kahit ako, no, I'm listening to them, to Enzo and Julia, parang pakiramdam ko, yeah, I really need to do something more, no? Kasi, like when I do a lot of mind work, I do a lot of webinar stuff, and the transition usually is just standing up and stretch, no? Iba talaga yung meron ka pang gagawin that's more physical than that, na kaya ng katawan mo, no? Together with that is your nourishment, of course. Yan. Kaya yes, go lang. Makinig kayo kina Julia at Enzo. Ako, nakikinig ako dito. I'm learning a lot, no? Makinig kayo para for those who are suffering from negative emotions, no? I don't want to say those who are suffering from depression. Kasi na overuse natin the word, no? Again, depression should be diagnosed. No? Don't diagnose yourself. Even if you feel so low, even if you have no energy, remember, you cannot say it's depression until a psychologist or a psychiatrist tells you that you're suffering from depression. These may be depressive symptoms. Maybe you feel lonely, and it's because of the situation that we are in now. So don't stay there, no? It's okay to recognize the bad feelings that you have, but you have to do something about it. Kaya nga sinabing, may pinagdadaanan, kailangan daanan mo lang. Di ba? Tapos, kapag napagdadaanan mo siya, huwag mo tambayan. Kailangan mag-exercise ka na, sabi nila Julia. No, it's managing that negative emotion that matters, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, thank you, Ma'am. Yes, Ms. Coach Julia, ano po yung exercise na pwede daw gawin?
Yes. Actually, I just wanted them to add to what they said. Kasi ako po, I actually was diagnosed with clinical depression ever since I was 8 years old. And I guess this is coming from personal experience na rin. Na exercise, yes, it helps a lot kasi you get to secrete happy hormones and it also keeps your mind working. But I also like to recommend and talk to the people, not necessarily who are experiencing mental problems, but kahit feeling of sadness rin, and loneliness and isolation. Yes. But to always go to the root of it. Exercise definitely helps, but try to get to the root of it. Try to find time to nourish your mind. Try to change the things that you listen to, that you watch, diba? Yes, because you don't realize, and the things that you say, Ren, or the things that you listen to, because it affects the way you think. And your views on life as well. Baka the movies that you're watching are puro negative. So try to change it up. Try to listen to, ako personally, I listen to self-love and self-care podcasts while I'm taking a bath, diba? Kasi I can multitask while I'm taking a bath. I can just listen to that. So in a way, I'm also nourishing my mind. Go to the root of it. You can get a gratitude journal, list down the things that you're grateful for even during these challenging times. And kasi you can incorporate exercise into your lifestyle, pero it might just end up like a band-aid solution, right? So you have to focus on nourishing your mind, and it has to be a daily thing. Hindi lang every other day. Diba? You have to choose every day to love yourself, and that should be your motivation to live a healthier lifestyle and actually overall take care of yourself. Yeah.
Correct. Kasi it's not just about the body, no? Remember, neuroplasticity, you can rewire your brain. So if you're suffering from any negativity, you can rewire it. And yung sinabi ni Julia, talagang swak na swak yun. You can also add colors. Like for example, if you're not feeling good, then don't look at dark colors. I mean, if you're not comfortable with it. But if it gives you good feeling, then go ahead, right? But usually we suggest like bawasan mo yung masyadong abstraction ng mga decoration mo sa bahay. And siguro if sun lifts your mind and your emotion, then go ahead and look more at the rising sun. Look more at yellow colors. Yung mga ganon, di ba? These are some of the ways on how you can add spice and sweetness to your life. Yan. Ang ganda ng mga sinabi ni Julia, no? You really have to practice wellness in your own life.
I agree on that, ma'am. And of course, syempre, yung physical wellness talaga kahit nasa bahay, no? Kasi yung simpleng pagde-declutter lang, paglilinis ng bahay, pagwawalis, it's a physical exercise and it can do a lot para sa ating katawan and of course sa ating mind. Kasi syempre busy nga tayo, no? May ginagawa tayo. So yung mind din natin, nada-divert yung attention. So ayan, so ang dami nating pwede talagang
At saka,
gawin.
Jo, dadagdag ko lang, if I
Yes,
may
po.
add, no, this is very important kasi nabanggit ni Julia yung gratitude. Sa atin kasi minsan ang pinanggagalingan ng negativity natin is because we complain a lot, no? Ang liit na bagay you complain, ang liit na bagay, parang minsan you just say it, but you're actually not complaining. Pero meron kasing mga tao na talagang parang everything is so bad. Parang even at the people they talk to, no, they complain a lot to them. Again, when you talk to a person na you trust and then you say something that you don't feel good about, that's okay. No, that's okay kasi it's one way of releasing it to the right person at the right time. Pero may mga tao kasi na para bang lahat na lang pangit, no? And if you know how to show gratitude, yan. So kailangan you know how to be grateful of all the things that happen around you. Be grateful of the smallest thing. Natuto kang magluto, natuto na may isang recipe, then go ahead and just be thankful about it, no? So that's one very very powerful psychological process, yung gratitude. Yan. Always be very thankful.
Very agree.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much po. No, napaka-ganda ng discussion natin ngayon. Pero ayan,
Sobra.
parang napaka-konti nung time natin to discuss these things, no? Okay, so ayan, shout out lang po sa mga taga SDO Caloocan City na nanonood ngayon. And of course, kay Miss Paulina Balingat Senson, kay Mr. Celia Jonicio Domingo, kay Miss Mary Ann Walder Reyes, kay Miss Beatriz Acosta Madriaga, sa mga taga SDO Ilocos Norte, kay Miss Shima May, ayan, kay Miss Juliet B. Del Mundo, kay Mr. Efren Agbayani, kay Miss Almira Mortera, kay Miss Michelle Bolivar Abando, kay Miss Maureen Rio. Maraming salamat, no, sa inyong pagsubaybay sa ating Wellness Check episode ngayong umaga. Okay, napakaganda talaga ng ating naging talakayan ngayon. Okay, so ayan. Maraming salamat.
Pwede ba ako mag-shout out?
Sige po.
May nanonood sa atin ngayon, taga RGO, yung boss ko, si Ma'am Merol. Hello, Ma'am. RGO Learning
Good morning
Center.
po.
O, hindi lang pang DepEd, ha?
Ayan. Okay po, maraming salamat po, Ma'am Yeng, Coach Julia, and Coach Enzo. Na despite holiday ngayon na talagang sinamahan nyo kami dito sa Department of Education. Sana po ito, mga moms and sirs natin na nanonood ngayon, marami kayong napulot na information tungkol sa physical wellness. And of course, para talagang okay na check ang ating mental health. And ayan, makatulong po ito sa atin, no, para talagang para maganda po yung maging preparation natin sa opening ng ating classes this August. Ayan, to end our webinar series for today, let us call in Director Renil Daco, the Director of the Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Service. Good morning, Director Ronnie.
Good morning, Director Ronnie.
Good morning po sa inyong lahat at maraming salamat Thank you, Julia, Enzo. No? Napaka-rich naman ng discussions, no? And Yang, or ever psychologist natin sa DepEd. But mga kasamahan sa DepEd, I hope that this has been a helpful Friday for all of you. Ang ganda ng topic, kasi it's focusing naman sa body. But tulad ng lahat ng speakers, the emphasis is the body has something to do also with the mind. No? So yung integration ng body and mind has been emphasized. Ako, from my end, the body is important to take care of because it is the extension of oneself. Ibig sabihin yung pagkatao. It is the way by which we express who we are. Diba? It's the way by which we express compassion. Diba? It's the body. Diba? So ito yung it extends the very person na tayo. Diba? Kaya sabi ko nga lagi, the body is the instrument by which we actually concretize the mission that we are called to. Diba? What we are called to in this world is expressed through the body, the reaching out, the compassion, yung gano'n na kailangan natin ngayong mga panahon ng COVID. And therefore, for me, it's very important yung taking care of the body. But also, yun nga, sabi nila, diba? So it's not just the body alone, but the body, taking care of the body also enhances the mind. And yung kailangan din natin para yung body natin ay maging masigla. Kailangan din alagaan yung ating mga mind. No? So I hope na nakatulong itong ganitong paglilinaw ng kahalagahan ng katawan at ng ating isip. Bakit kailangan natin maging maginhawa at both levels, lalo na not only for us who are actually affected, sabi nung I just finished actually an 8-day retreat then, Ignatian retreat, because it's today is Saint Ignatius Feast Day actually. One of the very things na namamangha ako lagi sa buhay is the ability to discern, yung discernment. How do you hear really God's voice and not to your voice, yung mga ganon. Yung sinabi nung retreat master namin, sabi niya, if anyone in this time of the pandemic is not affected, sabi niya, you are in a different planet, which means it is we recognize that every one of us in one way or another is affected by this pandemic. And therefore, ang mahalaga dito ay balikan yung ating mga sarili at gumawa ng paraan. At ito, isa to sa mga ginagawa natin sa Wellness Check series natin. And I'm glad na marami tayong viewers na mga personnel. Itong ginawa natin ngayon, yung pagbabalik sa pangangalaga ng katawan at ang importansya nito sa ating mga kaisipan. Kasi lagi namin sinasabi, I'd like to end with this, na bawat isa sa atin ay mahalaga. I always say this, in the midst of all that's happening, we have to realize and acknowledge one another's importance. So sinasabi ko, kapatid, mahalaga ka. Kaya alagaan mo ang iyong sarili. It's not because you do work for DepEd or by yourself. By yourself alone, mahalaga ka. So kailangan alagaan ang ating mga sarili at sana ay sa ating araw-araw na pangangalaga ng ating mga sarili ay we come to a point of not only coping. I know we are all adjusting. Nasa coping stage tayo talaga. Very challenging po talaga ang situation. I have been going through that myself. But it is my fervent hope that we arrive with helping one another, tulad ng mga ganitong speakers natin, na mga experts natin, ay we arrive at being able to adopt as well as being able to thrive in this pandemic. So with that, maraming salamat po sa inyo. Hanggang sa muli ng ating Wellness Check series next Friday. Ingat po kayo and happy weekend po sa inyong lahat.
Thank you very much po, Director Roy, and of course, sa ating mga guests for today, Coach Julia and Coach Enzo, and of course, our friend, psychologist, Ma'am Yeng, and of course, sa ating Filipino Sign Language interpreter for today, Miss Amy, Miss Alec Del Rosario, and sa lahat po ng viewers natin all over the Philippines sa ating Wellness Check series. So ayan mga ma'ams and sirs, please stay tuned every Friday 9 a.m. at Dapat Philippines Facebook page for the Wellness Check series Training on Wellness. Ayan, kung nais nyo pong malaman ang mga susunod na topics, unang ating series, just go to deped.in/wellnesscheck or scan the QR code that you can see po sa inyong screen. And ayan, kung nais nyo pong, ito po, tulungan nyo po kami mas mapaganda pa ang ating webinar sessions. Ayan, by answering or accomplishing our evaluation po after this webinar. Okay? So ayan, samahan niyo po kami sa iba't iba pang programa ng DepEd para matulungan kayong malagpasan ang mga nararanasan natin ngayon dahil sa COVID-19. So every Tuesday po, 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Makakasama niyo po si Coach Julia at Coach Enzo sa ating Stronger from Home series. Ayan, magtuturo po talaga sila ng mga physical exercises and syempre about nutrition. Ayan, every Tuesday po from 4 to 5:30 p.m. naman ang ating DRMS buklatan for elementary learners po ito. Ito po isang storytelling session on child protection naman. And ito po, every Wednesday po yung kaginahawahan natin for DepEd Top Leaders. And every Wednesday din po ng 4 to 5:30 p.m. ang ating gabay-bahay para sa ating mga parents and caregivers dahil nga kailangan nating magtulungan para po sa pagbabalik sa eskwela ng ating mga learners. Ayan, every Thursday po meron pa din tayong Stronger from Home naman ulit. Ito naman ay tungkol sa yoga and mga mindfulness exercises. And same day po, 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. ang OKKK Tambayan para po sa ating mga secondary learners. Ito naman po ay tungkol sa mga art-based strategies na pwedeng gawin ng ating mga learners. And of course nga, every Friday, 9 a.m. ang ating Wellness Check series. So ayan, ito po ay hatid sa inyo ng Department of Education sa pagtutulungan po ng iba't ibang opisina dito sa DepEd, ng DRMS, ng BHROD, Employee Welfare Division, Public Affairs Service, at ng Office of Legal Affairs. Okay, so ayan po. Mga moms and sirs, ayan, dahil po tayo ay nagte-training, ayan, huwag niyo pong kakalimutan no, ang ating pong assignment na binigay sa inyo. Ito pa rin po sa tungkol po sa ating Wellness Check Series episode number 10. Kasama po natin si Sir June Hebrew, no, nang diniscuss niyo yung healing from struggles natin. Ayan, lagi niyo pong, kung hindi niyo naman po napanood yung mga previous episodes, pwede niyo po itong balikan sa DepEd Philippines Facebook page. Meron po tayong playlist no, for Stronger from Home and Wellness Check series. So kung hindi niyo man po napanood yung mga unang-unang episode ni na Coach Julia and Coach Enzo, pwede niyo pong mabalikan yan. Okay? So ayan, punta lamang po kayo sa ating DepEd Philippines Facebook page. Okay? So ayan, sa susunod na Biyernes po, magkita-kita pong muli tayo no, dito sa DepEd Philippines Facebook page sa ganap na alas 9 ng umaga. Maraming salamat po sa inyong pagsubaybay. Muli po ako po si Joan Yamado, ang kasama niyo sa pagpapanatili at pagpapalaganap ng wellness. Check na check.
Check na check.
Sasamahan kita kahit isang eroplano ang agwat nating dalawa. Dahil kung nakakapagsalita lamang ang paliparan, ikukwento niya kung ilang beses akong lumingon pabalik sa iyo nung araw na ako'y lumisan. Papalubog ang araw noon at dahan-dahan lumulubog din ang puso ko sa kalungkutan. Ayaw sana kitang iwan. Gusto kitang samahan. Sa mga umagang nagmamadali ka papasok sa eskwela. Gusto kitang damayan sa mga gabing nahihirapan ka sa matematika. Gusto kitang yakapin sa tuwing gusto mo nang sumuko dahil akala mo'y wala kang talento sa pagpinta. Ngunit anak, gusto kong ipaalam sa'yo na ikaw ang nagpinta ng buhay ko. Nang dumating ka, naging makulay ang mundo ko. Ang dating mga baluktot na linya ay naging tuwid. Ang dating madilim na larawan ay nabigyan ng liwanag. Kaya anak, gusto pa rin kitang samahan sa bawat mong karanasan, sa mga tagumpay at kabiguan. Sasamahan kita hanggang marating mo ang mga ulap, hanggang maabot mo ang iyong mga pangarap.
Hello, Ma?
Hello, anak. Sorry, kakatapos lang ng trabaho ni Mama.
Okay lang po, Ma. Kakatapos lang din naman po namin maglaro.
Mukhang nandun ka ulit sa paborito mong lugar, ah. O sige, ready ka na ba? Punta ka na sa DepEd Commons. Math tayo ngayon, ha? Saan na nga ulit tayo nahinto kahapon? Sa problem solving na, di ba?
Anak, sasamahan kita. Kahit isang eroplano ang agwat nating dalawa.
So we could administer online examination by introducing to our teachers and our learners yung tinatawag namin ngayong DepEd Commons. No? We have a DepEd Commons where lessons for the remaining quarter, itong last 2 weeks, ay ma-access ng mga bata at saka mga teacher. Magkakaroon din sila ng review for the 4th quarter, and then they can also take the examination online if the students are not satisfied on the transmutation formula that the teacher will be undertaking.
Ang Digital Rise program ay nakadisenyo upang pag-usayin ang kakayahang pagtuturo ng mga pampublikong guro. Sa Digital Rise ay sisiguraduhin magiging accessible ang pagtuturo at pag-aaral saan mang bahagi ng Pilipinas. Learning will take place anytime and anywhere dahil sa direksyon ni Secretary Leonor Magtolis Briones ay sinimula ng Office of the Undersecretary for Administration ang DepEd Commons. Napaaga ang pag-launch ng DepEd Commons dahil sa hindi inaasaang pandemya. Kailangan magpatuloy ang pag-aaral kaya kinailangan ng Office of the Undersecretary for Administration na ilunsad ng mas maaga sa plano ang DepEd Commons. The DepEd Commons is a work in progress. The ICTS Educational Technology Unit is the new office established to create and handle the emerging technologies and blend curriculum and instruction with ICT. The DepEd Commons is designed to give access to online review materials and OERs during class suspension and other circumstances where the DepEd Commons is open and targets the inclusive education as it is for K-12 learners for both public and private schools. It is also open for deaf and blind learners due to its accessibility features, for alternative learning system, and for the professional development of teachers. Simula ng public launch nito noong March 19 ay umabot na sa mahigit 7 milyon ang DepEd Commons users.
And the second approach is now very popular, Mr. President. This is the online learning platform, and we in DepEd, we have what we describe as DepEd Commons. Right now, we already have over 7 million subscribers, wherein lessons, homework, quizzes, tips to learners and to teachers are all in the DepEd Commons and are accessible even to the parents. So we have instances, Mr. President, of parents who are abroad and who are monitoring what is happening to their children. They also go to the DepEd Commons and check on how their children are.
Para magkaroon ng free access sa paggamit ng DepEd Commons, nakipag-ugnayan si Yusek Aling Pascua sa Globe at Smart para mas maging accessible para sa lahat ang platform. Ito ay alinsunod sa apila ni Secretary Leonor Magtolis Briones sa NTC at DICT na suportahan ang mga mag-aaral at guro sa panahon ng quarantine.
The DepEd Commons is an online platform now that we have launched during the ECQ. At the moment, it is a repository of all open educational resources coming from teachers of DepEd. It is a work in progress, and we intend to collate all available materials so that we can enrich the platform and we can make available these materials to all learners and to all teachers.
Para makalagin sa DepEd Commons, kailangan pumunta sa commons.deped.gov.ph. Gawin ang mga sumusunod. Una, piliin kung ikaw ay nasa public o private school. Pangalawa, i-type ang school name o ang school ID. Pangatlo, piliin kung ikaw ay student o teacher. Pang-apat, i-type ang pangalan at email address. Optional para sa mga mag-aaral ang paglalagay ng email address. Samantala, para sa mga magulang na tinuturing facilitator ay maaaring mag-login bilang teacher. Panglima, i-click ang save button.
Magaling! Nasa loob ka na ng ating DepEd Commons. Kapag ikaw ay nakalogin, makikita mo sa kaliwang bahagi ang mga menu. Sa Spotlight, makikita ang mga featured learning materials mula sa mga stakeholders at partners ng DepEd. Ito ay naglalaman ng paksa tulad ng cyber safety, DOST courseware, Oplan Kalusugan, DRRM, storybooks, at math vlog lessons.
Ang DepEd Commons ay saklaw din ng ating ALS learners, kaya makikita dito na maaaring i-download ang mga modules na naglalaman ng interactive formats upang mas maging kaigay-gaya ang pag-aaral at makuha ang interes ng mga ALS learners. Sa mga susunod na araw ay madadagdagan ang mga kagamitan dito bilang paghahanda sa pasukan.
Ang Learning Management System o LMS ay isang software application na ginagamit sa maraming paaralan sa mundo, lalo na sa kolehiyo at malalaking pamantasan. Sa pangunguna ng ICTS Educational Technology Unit, ang DepEd LMS ay nabuo upang maging suportang kagamitan sa DepEd Commons.
Ang DepEd Learning Management System ay para sa lahat. Ito ay gagamitin ng mga guro upang makalikha ng isang maayos na structured ng pagkakasunod-sunod ng mga aralin.
Tayo ay may humigit kumulang sa 400,000 teachers na may kaalaman sa paggamit ng DepEd Learning Management System o LMS. Patuloy pa din ang training na ginagawa sa pamamagitan ng webinar sessions.
Narito ang iba't ibang katangian ng DepEd Learning Management System na siyang bahagi ng programang Digital Rise ng kasalukuyang administrasyon. Inclusive education. Mayroon itong accessibility features for the blind and deaf learners. Interactive assessment na kagaya ng PISA upang maihanda ang mga mag-aaral sa ganitong klase ng teknolohiya sa pandaigdigang pagsusulit. Multimedia compatible. Mayroon itong kakayahan na mag-attach ng audio, video, at maging mga larawan. Automatic checking and grading system. Hindi na kailangang mag-check ng guro sapagkat ang system mismo ang mag-check. Compatible sa lahat ng mga devices, maging ito ay smartphones, tablet, laptop, desktop, computer.
Naranasan ko nang maiwan. Hindi ko na mabilang kung ilang beses akong nakiusap hanggang sa maubos ang pangungusap. Naisip ko na ring sumuko dahil sa sunod-sunod na bagyo. Parang walang katapusan itong kalbaryo. Saan nga ba ako patungo? Saan ba ang dulo nito? Sa paglalakbay, muntik na akong huminto. Pero sinalubong mo ko. Bumungad sa akin yung mga mata mong gustong matuto. Ang mga kamay mong sabik sumulat. Ang mga labi mong nais bumigkas na mga salitang nakakapawi ng pagod. Tinatalo mo itong lungkot at takot. Binibigyan mo ng sagot ang mga katanungan sa aking puso.
Masampat, abi-abi, mga anak.
Masampat pala, abi-abi ka mo.
Na sa dami ng alinlangan ko't tanong sa mundo, ito ang nag-iisang sigurado. Mahal ko ang pagtuturo. Ito ang nagbibigay buhay sa aking pagkatao. At ang mga pangarap nila, ang aking ligaya. Minsan na rin akong naiwan. Kaya't sisikapin kong hindi mo ito maranasan.